Welcome to the station crew. Enjoy your stay.
I have explored the entire station gathering useful items and materials, and I'm still missing some important ones that can be made with chemistry. There's no chem dispenser here, and the research node is locked, so I can't build it either. I'll need to scavenge for the reagents and do most things in a getaway, which makes things interesting. But first, I want to get the missing materials. I'll go to the beta station to grab uranium from that chest in the engineering secure storage. So we can grind it for uranium if we will need one for some recipe. Chemistry is one of the core mechanics in Space Station 13 that is deeply integrated with all other mechanics. And while atmospherics are also about chemical reactions, when people say chemistry here, we usually mean the mechanic based on reagents. Every item, every mob in the Space Station 13 has reagents, and it may be a container. For instance, the iron sheet can be turned into iron if you grind it. You can grind a hamburger and drink it to get saturation. And you can, for example, grind these tower cap logs to get the cellulose fibers. And when we eat something, let's say that if I eat this mushroom, I will get the ingredients of the mushroom into my bloodstream. So when I do a health scan, you can see that my blood now contains nutrients. The chemistry mechanics are getting deeper when it comes to medicines, drugs, poisons, and explosives. But I don't really need any of those right now, so my plan for today is to explore the basic chemistry, leaving purity and application mechanics for later. So we're going to this secure storage, and there's this chest with uranium. There are 25 sheets. That's very good. Right, you need to understand that in Space Station 13, you can deconstruct almost everything and reclaim the materials of the items. So this iron rod can be turned into iron. This purple shard is a plasma glass that can be turned into plasma. And there's actually an item on this station that can yield a diamond, and that is this reflector box. So let's deconstruct it, because diamonds are very valuable and there is no source of diamonds right now. And this one is very important for the technical stuff that we're going to make. It's only one diamond, but it will be enough to make some stock parts of high level. And I also get this iron. So right now, from the basic stuff that are used in the protolith, we're only missing plastic, blue space crystal, and vanadium. But for plastic, you can also deconstruct some things that are on station. For example, this airtight plastic flaps can be first unwrenched with a screwdriver. And then we can deconstruct it using the wire cutters to reclaim the plastic that makes up these flaps. I can do the same with some other items like curtains in the shower, like signs on the walls, but you can see that this one yielded me 5 plastic. It's not much, but it will be enough for some recipes. Other than the minerals that are used to make things in protolith, there are some other materials, like these planks, for example. They will give wood. And to make sure that I can craft everything that I need, I will convert some of these planks into wooden planks, so that I can get the planks with me to the Delta station and use it for crafting of some stuff. Right, let's go back to Delta station. Also, you can see that my character is now sneezing. It says that the chest is itches and head pounds. It seems that I got sick by walking on the rotten gibbs in the xenomorph nest. I've seen a pandemic machine in the biolab that we can use to analyze the disease, but to actually heal it, we need to prepare medicine. I'll use the chance to explain how the station usually fights random diseases. So here's the pandemic machine. It's broken and non-functional, so nothing happens when I try to open it. So we will need to deconstruct it a little bit. So yeah, it's missing a monitor, and I will need a glass sheet to repair it. I will also need a syringe to take a blood sample so that I can use this disease that we have for later in the virology to make some advanced disease that will actually be beneficial for us. Right, so this is the pandemic machine. I will take this syringe and with right click take some of my blood, and then I will need some reagent container. Do we have any? Let me actually take one of these cans. I think I can use it as a reagent container. Let me drink it. Yep, I just put my blood into this can and I loaded it up in the pandemic. So it is indeed an experimental disease with 3 symptoms, and it has quite high resistance. So that's why the possible cure is a happiness, which is a very high level medicine, a drug that it's quite hard to make. I'm not sure that we even have the reagents right now, but we'll try to figure it out. Okay, so to figure out the recipe, I need to open the wiki right now because we don't have the chem dispenser which has the reagent lookup, and I will search for happiness here. So give me a moment and I will copy this. Okay, now I will use this paper scrap here to write down the recipe for the happiness. I will use my black pen that I have under my ear, and here I will put this text here. This will be the list of ingredients that we will use to make this happiness drug that should heal us from this annoying disease. Okay, I will close this for now and take this paper with me. To start with the chemistry, I will need some reagent containers, and I will probably make some large beakers in the portal lathe. Let's make 5 of them, it should be enough. Also, I will place 5 uranium here. It's loaded, and also place the plastic here. Other than that, we also got the diamond, and now you can see that we're only missing 2 materials. Alright, the rest will go to this chest. I don't need this anymore, and I'll put the gas inlet here. Alright, now after these planks we can make a lot of stuff. Let me open the crafting menu and go to the chemistry, and here you can see that we have quite a lot of items like a mortar. We can use it to grind items. The thing is, I cannot create a reagent grinder either. It's only in the kitchen there, but there is a workaround. We can make a pestle and a mortar, so let's do them. We got a pestle that it's basically a reagent container where we can put some items and grind them. So this will be our makeshift grinder in case we will need to break down some uranium or something else. Right, other than that, you can do many other things out of the wood, like test tube rack that you can use to store your test tubes, some chemical separator that can replace this chem master, for example, and there are some other things. If you go to the materials here and click on the wooden plank, you will see the list of all recipes for the wood, and I will go back to this list a bit later. For now, let's focus on the chemistry. Okay, now I've got the beakers and I can start making the medicine that is a happiness. So this dropper is an item that we can use to transfer reagents. So you can see that when I click on it in hand, it switches between the very tiny amounts of reagents. So I can be very precise with this. And the medicine that we need to make, we only need just a couple of units of it. so it makes sense to use only one reagent for every single line in this recipe, because we don't really have much of them. We need to be very careful with how we use our reagents. We only have 30 of each of the basic reagents here, and we cannot make more until we make the synthesizer. We can scavenge from some of them, but it will be very problematic. So this recipe is quite big, and I just cannot go through the entire list. I will need to be considerate to the pH and the temperature of the reagent mixing, because if you start mixing everything in a random sequence, you may end up with wrong reagents, because let's say nitrogen may react with hydrogen for some other recipe, but not for the ammonia. So I will be going from the bottom of this tree to the top levels, starting with the oil. So I can see that we need one oil here and one oil here. So we will make just one instance of this. It should yield us 3 oil, because we'll be mixing welding fuel, carbon, and hydrogen. I know by the colors that this is the welding fuel. It looks red. We'll be mixing oil in this beaker. I know that the carbon is black, so yep, that is it. And hydrogen should be one of these gray bottles. Here it is. Oh, I accidentally made 15 units of oil, but whatever, we will need more oil anyway. Right, so this is the beaker with oil. We got it. Now let's make the acetone. So it's also welding fuel and oxygen and one oil. I will make sure that I have only 1 unit being selected right now. I will take 1 welding fuel, put it here. I will take the oxygen that is here and put 1 oil into the beaker, and it will yield us the acetone. We'll leave it here for now. Now the next one is the ammonia here. I will take 3 hydrogen from this beaker. Yep, we got 3 hydrogen. And then 1 nitrogen, that is this beaker. Yep. Right, we got the ammonia. Now we will make the diethylamine from this ammonia. We can have 1 unit of this ethanol and just put it into this ammonia. It gave us some diethylamine, and I will actually make sure to separate this ammonia, because we will not need it. We will just need diethylamine. Right, so we got our acetone, we got our diethylamine. Next, for this epinephrine, we will need phenol, and for that we will need 1 oil from this beaker. We will need chlorine, that is this yellow thing, and the water. Yep, we got the phenol. And now we can mix this epinephrine. So we will mix it in this beaker. I will take 1 unit of phenol, 1 unit of acetone, 1 unit of diethylamine, and also some chlorine, hydrogen, and oxygen. Yep, we got 6 units of epinephrine. So this is the hardest part of this recipe. I will put it here for now. Right, and destroy this reagent just to make sure that we will not put it somewhere by accident. For this nitrous oxide, we will need to make some ammonia. Actually, I think I just removed the ammonia, but whatever, let's make it from the beginning. We got our ammonia again. Then we will need oxygen and nitrogen. 2 oxygen and 1 nitrogen. Now you can see that even though we have everything that we need in this beaker, it doesn't mix. That's because we need to heat it up to the temperature of 225 Kelvin. I will remove the extra ammonia that we don't need from this beaker and put it into this reaction chamber that we can use to heat it up to the desired temperature. I will put it slightly higher. Let's say that 530. But I need to be careful with this because the nitrous oxide, which is a sedative gas, can blow up if it goes above a certain temperature that is slightly higher than this one. And when you create this reagent, it will be exothermic reaction, and it will increase the temperature of the solution. So right now we're mixing only a few units, so it should not increase the temperature too much. But we should be careful when we're mixing nitrous oxide in big amounts because it can release a lot of energy and blow up. Right, we got it completed. Now we got our nitrous oxide, epinephrine here, and the rest is just the ethanol and plasma. For plasma, we don't have a beaker because plasma is not a basic reagent. It's a thing that we actually need to retrieve from these plasma sheets. And let's take one sheet and put it into this mortar and use a pestle to break it down into 20 units of plasma. Now you can see that this mortar contains some plasma, and we will transfer 5 units into the solution. So let's prepare the happiness. We will make it in this empty beaker. So I will take 2 units of nitrous oxide, which is this gray thing. I will take 1 unit of epinephrine. It's quite a cumbersome recipe, but usually on the station you can take the epinephrine in the med bay. It's medicine used to stabilize patients that are in a critical state. So they should have a plenty of it, and it would save us a lot of time if we were on the actual station. But unfortunately, we're not. So we got the first 2 ingredients. Now we need 1 unit of ethanol, which is this gray thing. And now we need to add 5 plasma. I will take 5 units and put it here. Oh, something went wrong. We still have our stuff, and it seems that the plasma got released to the air. That's another thing that I should have done, is I should have cooled it to somewhere around room temperature, which is 293 Kelvin. Because the plasma gets turned into the vapor when it's too hot. I will unlock this air alarm and make sure that we scrub the plasma from the room. Yeah, you can see that we have some of the plasma, which is why it says that I'm choking on it. But it should not be a very troublesome amount, so I will just get only a minor damage from it. Okay, now we got it somewhere close to the room temperature. I guess we can finally take it again and put some more of plasma, and we get, yep, 4 units of happiness and 5 units of plasma. I will extract the plasma. Check with the health analyzer that we have this disease and the cure is happiness. Then drink this drug. It makes me happy. I hope I will not get any bad consequences from this drug, but it should in a moment heal us from this disease. And now we can see that it's gone. Right, good. Now we're done with the medicine for the disease. We got the syringe with it. Hopefully the scrubbers will work out with this plasma situation and we will get rid of it. And now I think I will need a bit more plastic because 5 units are not enough. I want to have more. And to do this, we will need a lot of oil, a lot of ash, a lot of sulfuric acid, but we have only little amounts here. So in order to do something about this, I will need to scavenge for the reagents. And I've seen that we had some oil on that Charlie station. So that's my next goal. I will put the reagents back into this chem master. And I will destroy all of them actually. So now I have my beakers again. And let me go and grab those oil splats on the ground. Alright, so there's the first one. You can see that it says motor oil. Now in the first episode I was flying above it. Now if I actually walk on it, I get slipped and I get a bad mood. I should have been more careful. And what we can do, we can just use a large beaker on this bottle and grab it into the beaker. Now we get 30 units of oil. It's quite a lot. We also have more oil here, so that gives us 60 units. And we also have an ash here that I was also mentioning when we were setting up the solars. We also get 30 units of this ash here. Now, the recipe for the plastic is 5 units of oil, 3 units of ash, and 2 units of sulfuric acid. You can increase the proportion to get more. And the sulfuric acid can actually be scavenged from this nettle that we have here. But unfortunately, I do not have any botany gloves, so I will receive damage when I pick them up. But I think we need only one because it should contain a lot of sulfuric acid, and I should be okay if I grab it once. The nettle burns my bare hand. Put it into the grinder, getting more damage. Yep, quite a lot. We'll need to heal. Now let me check that there's nothing. Oh, there's libital. Let me eject the libital first. And I will actually put it in the glass so that it will not be wasted. And let's grind this. Oh, damn it. When I ejected the beaker, it also ejected the nettle. So I'm scared because I may die from this nettle. So let me analyze my health to check that. Yeah, I will be almost dead if I pick this one more time. So I will drink this medicine that should heal me back up because it heals my burn damage. And when I do this health scan, you can see how the burn goes away. All right, let's use the left hand to put it back into the grinder and grind it. Okay, you can see that it has sulfuric acid, nutriments, morphine, and multivir. I will take it and go and separate the chemicals so that we get only the sulfuric acid. In case if you don't have any specific machinery that you can use for the chemistry recipes, you can use some makeshift items or some tools that you have. Let's say that this Zippo lighter, I believe it can heat up items. And we also can use things like this grill, for example, to heat up some containers. So let's assemble our beaker with things for the plastic. So I'm transferring 50 units of oil, 30 units of ash into this beaker, and we will top it up with the sulfuric acid that we have here. Right, now it has everything that it needs, but to actually see the temperature, we can do one other thing. I will grind this gas analyzer to get mercury from it. I will take one glass sheet from here and my welding tool. To create a thermometer out of this mercury that we got by grinding the analyzer and the glass with the welder. So now that we have a thermometer, we can put it into the beaker and see the temperature. It says like now it's 30K, that is around room temperature. And when I use the lighter on the beaker, you can see that the temperature is rising. And it will also be rising when I enable the griddle. It will start cooking the beaker, heating up the temperature and giving us plastic that is created when you heat up all the contents that we just had in this beaker. So now we have a bit more plastic that is good. And while we're at it, let's check for the health. So we have still some of the burn damage, and I will drink a bit more of this blue Lenteri medicine to heal up. And you can also see that we got some toxin damage. That is the third type that we didn't talk about still, that I got by inhaling the plasma. And what you should do when you have a toxin, you should drink medicine that is called multiver. And it can actually also be made in kind of a makeshift way. So we no longer need this recipe for the happiness. So let's burn this down. It will yield us with some ash, and we will scoop it up. So we have 30 units of ash, and we also have some table salt here. We can transfer the entire shaker into there and also get another one to make sure that we have 1-to-1 ratio of ash and table salt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30 ash and 30 table salt. And now, where did I put my thermometer? Okay, whatever. Let's just heat it up. It's getting warmer and warmer, and at around 400K it turns into multiver. And now we can drink this medicine to heal up the toxin damage. So it says 23 right now, and in my health there is some multiver, so it keeps healing me. Let's drink another sip and put it into our inventory. Right, I guess we are done here, and we can finally use this plastic to make something awesome, which is close to what we would have if we had the chemical dispenser. So we still don't have a chemical dispenser, and I will need a separate episode to just make the experiment with human dissection, because we don't have any humans here at the moment. I will actually turn this scrubbers too, because it seems like it got leaked to the outer area. Right, good. So going back with our plastic to the protolathe and searching for portable chemical mixer. Now that I build it, you can see that it's open and we can put a lot of stuff there. Oh, I left my ID there. Did I? Oh, it is here. Okay. What we can do with this chemical mixer, I'm not sure if we can. Yep, we cannot gather, so we will need to put them manually. We just take all the bottles, put them inside this item. Also to take this sulfuric acid, and I think we have some oil here, some more sulfuric acid, some multiver. That is fine. And now we control click on this, do it once or twice, and you can see that we have basically a chemical dispenser that we can use to place our beaker in and make some recipes out of these chemicals. So let's try doing something. So first, I think I want to do something cool. So let's try to make some phosphorus for the beginning. So do we have it? We have 5 units of phosphorus, 5 units of potassium, and 5 units of sugar. This gives us some smoke that we can use to dispense some reagents to people's blood because they will inhale it. Right, we can also make some foam, and to do this I will need some carbon. So 1 part, 2 parts of carbon, 1 part of, actually I will make some fluorine first. So fluorine, 2 parts, and 1 part of the sulfuric acid will give us fluorosurfactant. That is, when mixed with water, let's just take this water and mix it with it, will create a lot of foam that will make people slip. And you can also use it to spread some chemicals. Let's say that space cleaner, if I was having some space cleaner there, it would get rid of all this dust and dirt that we have here. Right, and I will actually do something useful for the next episode. Let me make a couple more beakers here because I put every single one of them into this chemical mixture that we have. So I want to make a couple of botany chemicals. One of those we already created today, but another one we still need to try. So for diethylamine, we need some oxygen. So we will take oxygen. Which do we have it? I think 15 oxygen. We will also need 5 potassium and 5 nitrogen. That will be actually not the diethylamine, it will be a saltpeter. So 5 nitrogen, where is it? I cannot find it. Here it is. Right, we got some saltpeter. It's an awesome chemical that we can use for botany. Now let's make some diethylamine, and we did it with nitrogen, hydrogen, so 3 parts of hydrogen, 1 part of nitrogen, which will give us ammonia. And also I will need some ethanol, I think, like so. Yep, and we got 30 units of diethylamine. And we will actually use this chemical to make some awesome plants. Right, I think that is it. And in the next episode, we will probably work on making those botany gloves to get some more sulfuric acid because we're running out of it. And while we're at it, we'll probably tame a carp because we will need a costume to make sure that we can at least get close to carps and feed them with some awesome items that they like and get friendly with us.